Should we currently be stacking American Silver Eagles or fill in the blank? Stacking Cat. Welcome to the Stacking Cat channel, where I talk all things silver with a little bit of gold. If you want to see more of this type of content, then please subscribe and push that notification bell. If you enjoy this video, then hit that like button. Hey there, everybody. I hope you're all having a great day today. And today we're going to be talking about stacking American Silver Eagles versus just, like I said earlier, fill in the blank, just some other government-issued sovereign silver bullion coins. Of course, like the Philharmonic, the Britannia, the Maple, the Krugerrand, to name a few. And we're going to just get into why it is maybe better to be stacking these versus the Eagle. Now let's get into kind of the history of stacking silver bullion coins. So of course, the American Silver Eagle is the iconic bullion coin that we all know. Here is the Type 1 design. Of course, they just came out with the Type 2 here, and that is what is for sale as of now with the American Silver Eagles. And of course, we have the varying other silver coins over here as well. So the American Silver Eagles traditionally have been the go-to. The premiums on them were never really that much higher than you would find on a Maple or a Philharmonic. In the past, you'd be paying maybe somewhere between $2 and $275 over for any of these four, while you'd be paying maybe like $325, $350 over for an American Silver Eagle. Of course, they had varying deals throughout the years. You know, anytime you could find these for maybe $250, and you could find these for like $1.75, $1.79, something like that. And it was a lot more competitive in that way. And a lot of people just stacked Eagles. They are the #1 bullion coin in the world, certainly here in the United States. And I always bring in to these conversations the context through a United States lens. The reason being is that's where I live, and that's what I'm dealing with when I go to a coin shop or a coin show. That is how the dealers are operating. So I always defer to the American Silver Eagle. However, we have seen a big seed change over the past year and a half. Since the pandemic began in March of 2020, we've seen Eagles and their premiums really skyrocket, and they really haven't come down that much compared to some of these other coins. Like you find the Philharmonic right now for only $329 over. As a matter of fact, let me go into some of these bullion sites and we will look at the different prices between the Eagles and some of these others like the Philharmonic and the Britannia. So I'll bring that up right now. I brought up Monument Metals first just because they have the best price on the American Silver Eagle. So we'll go to the Type 2 right here. So it says $5.99 over spot. That's for a monster box. So it's $6.89 over spot if you're just buying one. And it is a little bit cheaper if you are buying a tube. However, that's still pretty high compared to some of the other silver bullion coins. And in just a sec, I'm going to click right on over here to SD Bullion and check their on sale page. So I go through all these on the weekly deal show every Tuesday as well, but you could see the 2021 Britannias at only $379 over. So that's a really good deal right there. And then a random silver coin, it could be from anywhere, government issued, at $369. So you're saving about $3 per. And Hero Bullion even has a better deal as we look into their Philharmonic. So only $329 over. So if you're buying a tube of these versus a tube of Eagles, you're saving quite a bit of money. And as so you guys just all saw, the prices on the Philharmonic, for example, at Hero is much better than the American Silver Eagle at Monument. Nothing against Monument. They do have the best price on American Silver Eagles right now. Some of the other sites are still sitting around $8 to $9 over, while Monument at least has gone under that $7 barrier. And if you go to a coin shop or a coin show, you're probably going to be paying a lot more than that for these American Silver Eagles. They are still dealing with wholesalers who have really high premiums as well. Of course, the wholesalers get it through their channels and they are paying more. So if you're going to buy it live in person, and I always advocate for that first and foremost, I am a big supporter of propping up the local businesses, the people who have been putting their blood, sweat, and tears into precious metals or just coins and numismatics in general for decades and decades. I prefer to go to them for that reason. But right now the prices are really high with them. Just talking to various dealers, whether it's coin shop owners or at coin shows, which is a great place to get kind of a all-around vibe of what different prices are. And they've been saying the same thing through wholesalers like Upstate and a few others. They're still really high, and you can't blame the wholesalers either. It's just the market that they are dealing with. So why are Eagles here still so much higher than these other coins? And there are a few reasons that I think. I'm going to say this at a more generalized layman's level. I don't know the ins and outs and all the bureaucracy and all that that's involved with the United States Mint. However, going back to the pandemic, we saw a lull in production. They had to close down for a while back in 2020. Of course, they've ramped back up, but in 2021, they had a few other logistical issues to deal with. One is when they transferred from this, of course, this Type 1 here. Now, the obverse is still the same as the originals. But when they went to the Type 2, they had to stop production for quite a while. I believe it was a few months. And why they were just switching on over to the Type 2s. So that created a little bit of a void to where they just were not available. And I'm sure a lot of the wholesalers or the big time dealers kind of took that as a message that maybe things weren't just the same and they had to hedge their own bets. So they were paying a lot more and selling for a lot more, and that's just how that ended up. So I think that is definitely a big reason why, as well as the U.S. Mint has made a concerted effort to ramp up their specialty coins, their more collectible coins. So we saw them release the 100th anniversary of the Morgan silver dollar. The 1921, of course, was the last year of the Morgan and the first year of the peace dollar. So they came out with a commemorative, or I'm sorry, it's not called a commemorative. Those are distinguished by an act of Congress. So a few other coins are that. I believe the Christa McAuliffe Challenger disaster 35th anniversary coin of that tragedy came out this year. So it's not a commemorative, but it is a specialty collectible coin. And they came out with the Morgans and the peace dollars and quite a few Morgans. I think it's 5 or 6 of them. And then the peace dollars. So that's a lot more logistically that they had to deal with when it came to producing silver bullion coins. They're also coming out with quite a few commemorative, I'm saying commemorative again, but collectible style coins for the Type 2 and the Type 1. I know the enhanced reverse proof 2 coin set will be coming out shortly. We are in mid-August of 2021 right now. Also, that's kind of a disclaimer because things could change between now and if you're watching this video like 6 months or a year from now, you might say, hey, but Eagles are right down there with the Maples again, and the premiums are only maybe having a 50-cent or $1 spread. But as of now, mid-August 2021, today is August 20th when I'm recording this video, so that's just where we are right now. So that enhanced reverse proof will be coming out, and they've done quite a few more collectibles than you've seen in years past. If you go back to like 2018, all they had was commemoratives. I believe they had the Pride of Two Nations as well with the Royal Canadian Mint in a collaborative effort, and then a few others here and there. But in 2021, they have really ramped up their production of collectible coins, and that is, I think, affected the production of the American Silver Eagles. I do not know the final numbers yet for the Type 1 or the Type 2. We will see when that is released, probably sometime early in 2022. But I'm guessing that the numbers are going to be a little bit lower, particularly for the Type 1s. So that could be what's driving the premiums up as well. I also think that premiums were high for a while, waiting for the Type 2s to come out. There's a lot of hype, a lot of publicity, and the Type 2s finally came out, and the premiums have dropped just a little bit, giving investors, collectors, stackers, whatever it may be, an extra option when it comes to buying American Silver Eagles versus just buying the singular Type 1, which has been available for 35 years. And I think that definitely impacted the American Silver Eagle market. But let's talk about in the long term, how much more value or equity you're going to gain out of buying some of these smaller coins. So if you buy a tube of Philharmonics, if I could pick this up, at only $3.29 a pop, and they come in 20s, you're going to be paying about $3.20 less than you would for an American Silver Eagle tube per coin. So you're talking about a little over $60, which is, of course, a pretty big discount in the grand scheme of things when you are stacking a decent amount of weight. And one day you're going to be liquidating these, I would assume, unless you're passing them on to your children or other family members, which I assume they will be liquidating them at some point. That is the reason why we are in this, to one day get that return on our insurance that we've put towards ourselves. And when you go back to sell it, right now I know Eagles are selling for a lot more back than you would any of these other four. Other than the Maple, you're probably only going to get spot or so when you're talking about things like the Britannia, the Krugerrand, and the Philharmonic Kangaroo, some of the other ones that are out there, like the maybe the Silverback Gorilla series that we see from the Congo. So you're probably only going to get spot for that, maybe even like generic payback. But when it comes to Eagles, you're getting a few dollars over. However, I believe that's going to start to drop as premiums to purchase go down and they become more readily available when more Type 2s are released, and it just becomes kind of this same loop that we've seen. By 2022, I'm assuming the US Mint is going to have their production right back in line to where it was pre-2020, which means that when you go to sell it back, you're probably not going to get the return that you would today. I'm not advocating ever for selling. I'm a stacker. I like to accumulate, but we all know things happen. And if you're buying these Eagles right now at, $3, $4, $5, whatever it may be, more than you are some of these others, you will not get that return back because they will never sell back for that amount more than you would for any of these. So that is something always to consider, is dollar cost averaging and just getting your best price on silver or gold or whatever it may be at the particular moment. You always want to make sure that you're stacking efficiently. You don't want to get caught in a situation where you're saying, well, they're American Silver Eagles, they are the most recognizable bullion coin in the world, I'm just going to go all in on them regardless of the premium. The premium means nothing anyway because the paper price is going to hit $50 and it won't matter. However, we have not seen that happen right now, as silver at this point is in the low 23s. It could breach that 23 and hit the 22s relatively soon. We've seen silver really, the bull market, not pan out or not play out in the way that a lot of people thought. It has gone down from the beginning of the summer, and I think that it's a trend that will not continue, not dropping precipitously, but staying around the same area. I really don't see silver in the next year or so going above 30 or even above 27, 28. I mean, of course, you're going to see ebbs and flows, but overall, I just don't think the situation is going to present itself where silver is like $50 an ounce at this particular moment. So if you're buying right now and you're paying those high premiums, I would definitely, personal opinion, I'm not a financial advisor, just personally, I am not stacking Eagles. I did buy some Type 2s just to have some in my stack, but I only bought 4 of them. Now, if this was in years past and they were 350 over compared to a Maple that was 275 over, then I probably would have bought a tube. But as of now, it's just not in my best financial interest. It is better, I think, personally, to go to Hero, for example, and buy some of those Philharmonics, or even on that deal on SD Bullion, where it was $369 for any government-issued silver bullion coin. Who knows what you're going to get, but it's still, I think, a much better deal, a much better buy than you would with the American Silver Eagles. And I'm not trying to say I'm an American Silver Eagle hater. I have more Eagles than any other pieces of silver that I own, more than junk silver, more than Maples. I have 2 Eagle tubes on my display on all my videos. So I'm still an American Silver Eagle backer. I just think at this particular moment in time, they are not the best way to go when it comes to stacking these government issued silver bullion coins. And of course, generic silver rounds are a completely different story, but I just wanted to keep it into the context of the government issued silver bullion coins because, you know, they're backed by some government out there. And I know government isn't always like the thing that you want to trust, but when it comes down to silver, I think there's a lot more security with those type of silver coins than there are with generic rounds. Personal opinion, but they are at least backed by some type of law in whatever country it may be, and they have a monetary value. So if SHTF happened and you needed some kind of currency, at least the American Silver Eagle would be worth $1, right? So it has that going for it as well. And so I wanted to keep it under the umbrella of the government issued coins. And as of right now, I just don't think Eagles are the way to go. Okay, so thank you for checking out this video. I greatly do appreciate it. And if you'd like to see similar videos about silver with a little bit of gold, then please subscribe and push that notification bell, smash that like button, and leave a comment. And until next time, this is the Stacking Cat.